I think it's going to take a while to get the truth of all this. It is, but nothing happens overnight. But what we can do to help this is we can actually stand in our truth at all times. Even if our voice shakes, speak it. Okay? Don't accept anything else but. And then this is when, real tribes can start to come together and things like that. I've been feeling very depressed. Am I weak if I decide to go on medication to help depression? Not at all, take on it. Not at all. This is one of the things that, again, this spiritual bypassing and stuff, I was on medication for many, many years for depression. I then, if I hadn't have been at that time, I probably wouldn't have been here. But during that time, what I'd done was I started to look at ways that I could change, or what was actually repressing me. Where was the depression really coming from? So no, you are not weak at all. If that is what you are needing at the moment, then take it. Life is not about suffering. It's not. If there is something there that can help you, then take it. But don't make that all right, okay, I'm depressed, I'm taking this pill, and that is going to be my life. Take that to get you through. We all need help over hurdles. And that if that allows you to actually start to explore and feel better, then that's what it's about. Anything that makes you feel better, even if it's going in the garden and standing your head, then do it. So yeah, by all means take it, but just don't think that that's going to be the quick cure and then that's all over. It's like I say, this depression is coming up to show you something. Take the medication, until you are at this point where you can say, right, okay, now I'm going to explore this. So please don't give yourself a hard time, take it. Anything that works, especially when you're feeling like that as well. Okay, I hope that helps. And this is, like I say, this is why I'm getting so annoyed with the spiritual community at the moment. There's they're putting this is pressure as well on people, and all this spiritual bypassing. And there was a thing the other day. I had an argument with somebody on like I say, I was really angry, and somebody had been being stalked, okay, and it was quite a serious thing. And there was somebody who was a coach had actually wrote, well, what do you expect? You're amazing and highly talented. And yeah, they might have said that tongue in cheek, but it was like, come on, that is a violation of somebody's privacy. And you are somebody that is trying to teach people how to live their lives better and how to be authentic, and to laugh at something like that. It was a guy that had been stalked, but can you imagine if that was a woman that had been stalked? It's stuff like this. It's this spiritual community. Sit and do a couple of arms and everything will be all right. No, it won't. They're blocking out that there is other stuff, and I get very annoyed with that, because some of the people I work with have been given wrong information. By people working in the spiritual community, and they're wondering why their lives are getting worse rather than getting better, So it's be open to anything, be open to anything. And also, check the people that you're getting this advice of. Are they living what they preach? Are they walking their talk as well? Because like I say, it's a bit of a buzzword and it's all trendy now to be a healer or whatever, and know that a healer can never actually heal you. A healer, we don't do the healing, we actually open the doors so that you can heal yourself, because we're always our own healer. We can help, we can guide somebody through it, but in order to do the healing, you've got to do that yourself. There's no quick fixes. People go and they take ayahuasca or stuff like that, and they expect it to be gone straight away. That doesn't work. It can open a door, but then you've got to do the work. Okay. So yeah, I'm very, I get very, very annoyed at this. And that is only because I genuinely care. That is it. It's, I don't begrudge anybody doing their work or answering their calling, but, they've got to be, when you have people's lives in your hands. And this is why I am so blessed, because some of the dear teachers that I've had, this was one of the first things they taught me about delivery, and about how you give them messages and stuff like that, and it's not about empowering me. it's about empowering that person and making sure that they understand, you know, and coming from this place of compassion, not like kind of hierarchy, and not making false promises neither. You know, I always say with cards, it's a prescription, you know, but unless you take the medicine, it's not going to work. So like I say, just be very very careful of that, okay? And don't expect quick fixes, because there isn't, you know, there isn't. So I hope that makes sense. I love when sometimes questions come out, then I think things that need to be said come out. Yeah. The energy flows through a healer to open the window. Yeah, that's all we do. We open doors for people, you know. But these people saying, oh, I healed this one and I healed that one. And I, you know, it's no, you aided them on their healing. You aided them on their healing. Right. Okay. And know that you will get through this, T. Garnet, as well. But know that this too shall pass as well. Okay. Everything is transient. It's a hard life, but it's a beautiful life. And you can't show me, I said this at the beginning, you can't show me anybody who is in their truth, who is taking whatever they can from life in a beautiful way, and they have an understanding of it, and they have a kindness and a very open heart. There is nobody I have met who hasn't had a hard life, okay? So these hard lives, they're just obstacles that we need to do to go to find out who we are, you know. And you know, if we sit and put all our problems in a room and see everybody else's, we would grab ours straight back, you know. But these are the things we signed up for. This is what we've got to experience within life, you know. And it is like I say, pain and darkness is it's our biggest growth. That's where we have our biggest growth spurts, you know. It's crazy beautiful life, it is. Yeah. Right, okay, so I'm going to start with, who am I going to start with? Aries, because then I remember them. So, Aries, right, Aries. So where is it going to show up for you, okay? Where's this Scorpio asking you to dive deep, okay? And what will your treasure be? So, so Aries. What is this? Where's this Scorpio moon focusing on for you? Hey, Sherry. And sorry, I just need to say that they've just said, if you're not in your heart, it's going to be harder life, okay? If you are open to it and you are in your truth and you see the truth of life, then it's going to be a lot easier, you know? Right, so Aries. Right. Right, okay, Aries. This is interesting. So what this is saying is that what is being what this Scorpio moon is shining on you as well, okay, is that you really have to go to the heart of your pain. Now, Aries are strong, okay? Anybody knows Aries, they know that they're strong. And it's like, yeah, look at me, I'm shining, okay? So they're always up for it. Nothing really knocks them back. However, they hold a lot of deep pain as well. But they have this strong facade to show, so they very often allow their vulnerable side, or they don't often allow people to know that they're in pain, or that they're suffering heartbreak, or that they've had traumas. What they'll go is, yeah, I've had these traumas. They'll talk about them, but they'll say, I'm completely over them, okay? And what this is saying is, this moon is saying to you, be vulnerable with this. Talk about your pain, not about how you overcome it. Allow your pain this voice, because there is still stuff inside of inside of Aries, that it's still a dark side. They like everybody to see them as this sunshine. They like everybody to see them shining. But try, see them, allow yourself to be seen where you're not, okay? Allow your vulnerability to be seen during this time, because this is where you are going to get a massive gift, and this is where you are going to heal deeper from your past than what you've already done, okay? You've done a lot of healing. Like I say, you knock them down, they get back up again, Aries, but there's still stuff there that is staying, and it's staying put, okay? So what this is saying is allow this to be seen, allow this vulnerable side to be seen. You know, maybe speak to somebody about your pain as well. And, you know, I don't know, this could be connected to death in some way, somebody where people have lost people and they, you know, they haven't fully grieved as well, I feel, with it. So it's allowing this out and knowing that that actually takes true strength rather than just showing up. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, Aries. Right, okay, so Aries, Taurus. Where's the dark part that's being? Right, okay. Well, right, okay, Taurus. So this is interesting. So what this is saying, what's going to be highlighted by this Scorpio moon for you is where people think you're that strong and you're that, strong, really, that they dump their burdens on you, okay? So this is something where I really feel you have to let go of their past, other people's past, things that people have put on you. Let go of your own as well, the burdens that you're carrying that you don't talk about, very similar to Aries, this, you know, and allow yourself to be childlike, okay? This is where the treasure is. So when you are free from this old baggage, when you are not worrying too much about what lies ahead, because this is it, Taurus are planners. They like to, you know, they like to be secure, and this is it, their security is stopping their spontaneity. So the treasure with this, when you let this all go, so this is when Scorpio hits, it's gonna make it uncomfortable. But what is the treasure that will be given with this is that you can be more playful, you can be more childlike. You're not taking on the responsibility of the world, of your loved ones, and, you know, of yourself. You're taking that off and allowing yourself some playtime, okay? So this is what Scorpio is going to mess with you, okay? Your security is where it's going to get hit. But, you know, this is so that you can be more social and more spontaneous. And you know, don't worry, you're not going to lose your security with this, not at all. Thank you, girls. Tanya, look at you, you look fabulous. Oh wow, who's that red hot woman on my screen? Yeah, it's this Scorpio. I needed it. Was the red was calling for me. Red was calling for me. Right, okay, so who do we have here? Gemini. Gemini. What is this Scorpio moon bringing in for Gemini? Right, okay, this is interesting, Gemini, okay? So what I feel is coming in for you, very similar cards, these, is where you're going to get hit is in your thinking, okay? This is where the Scorpio moon is going to hit you. And it's funny because the nodes changed, is it yesterday? So we've got, I think, the North Node in Gemini and South Node in Sagittarius. So this is going to really hit you. So where you're getting this, Gemini, is you like data, you like facts, you like, you know, you're an air sign, you know, you like all of this stuff. Whereas what is going to be highlighted for you, this Scorpio moon, is kind of mysticism, kind of magic, things that can't be explained. Okay, there's no logical, rational explanation for them, but you know that that's right. Okay, so this is where you're going to struggle. You might even be watching this video going, yeah, well, you know, that's just rubbish. It's just a piece of card, you know. So this is where the tension is going to be within you. But again, it's like I say, it's if you want success within your life, and this is what Scorpio is wanting us to do, you know. It's wanting us to put down the old beliefs of the past. It's wanting us to truly form our own here. And if you do that, you need to understand that there's science and spirituality. As I said, the duality, you know, metaphysics and physics, you know, there's magic and mundane. So this is where you're going to have a bit of a struggle. But in order to have success, it's about incorporating the two of them, you know. So this is where you're being asked to shine, and you will shine brighter when you incorporate the two. Okay, allowing your head to your kind of thoughts and your imagination and your intuition to merge. Okay, this is where it's going to be quite testing for you. So I like that. I like that one, Gemini. So I'm sorry, my phone is going literally crackers at the moment. What's going on? Okay, right. So who were we on? That was Taurus. Was it Taurus? Yeah, Taurus. So it's Cancer. Yeah, a Cancer. That's right, Cancer. Cancer. What is going to be highlighted by the Scorpio moon? The phone's just, it's like poof, poof, poof. They're all coming there. I'm so pleased I turned it off. I've just got, what's that song? Devil Woman? I've just got that song playing in my head there. I don't even know who sang that. Right, okay, so who are we on to? Cancer. Right, okay, Cancer. This is going to be interesting for you as well, because where this is going to be like called on your deep one, and I feel this is to do with relationships as well with you, Cancer. And what this is saying is you're about taking control, about being firm, about being kind of in emperor mode here, you know, not aggressive, but assertive, asserting yourself. Now, Cancers are quite watery. They don't like this.